And
Mm.
so emotional intelligence comes when we can be like, whoa, hold on a second. What's happening to my body right now?
Be manly and the legends of humanity. Welcome to the Fellowship of Honourable Men and Women Role Models for Boys and Men, because you have the power to be a man in all its glory. Hello again, Kerry. We're talking about, man, this is how not to be a loser in your life. And we're talking about embracing emotional intelligence. We're going to discuss the importance of emotional intelligence on building meaningful relationships, managing stress, and making sound decisions. What's your wisdom there?
Ooh, I mean, that's big, right? So embracing our emotional intelligence, I mean, that just that title right there like denotes or gives this idea that we are intelligent about our emotions.
Ooh.
And right, so many of us, myself included at times, are not intelligent about our emotions. We're not in tune with what they are. We don't know how they feel in our body. We don't know exactly what the emotion is that we're feeling, because if you think about it, excitement, oh my gosh, we're going over this roller coaster, I can't believe it, this is going to be, feels exactly the same as, oh my God, am I going to get fired today? I don't know. If I make this mistake, what's going to happen? My pits get sweaty, heart rate goes, breath is shortened. They feel the same in our body, but they're two very different circumstances. And
Mm.
so emotional intelligence comes when we can be like, whoa, hold on a second. What's happening to my body right now? What's happening around me or in me, meaning inside my brain, inside my head? Where am I right now? Am I spinning off in the future? Am I ruminating about the past? Am I about to actually go over the hill on a roller coaster? Right? And taking stock of what's going on, and then starting to get curious about, like, oh, I'm feeling this way because I'm thinking about a big presentation I need to give, or the hot person I really really like in my yoga class and I want to figure out a way to ask them out, or I just feel like total shit about the way I handled that situation last week. And I don't know how I'm ever going to show my face again. Right. So figuring out what is going on that's causing these physical sensations, naming the emotion, and then being able to talk about it, whether that is with a coach like me or you, or your therapist, a friend, your partner, hopefully. Um, and then that of course speaks to a bigger safety net, your community around you. Do you feel safe talking about your emotions? And if not, then how can we get you there? That's a whole bigger situation to look at. But I think emotional intelligence, first and foremost, starts with you and getting smart, getting intelligent about what's happening.
How much of that is linked to your own perception? For example, I remember when I was a young corporate, when the boss rang my phone and said, "Can you come into the office?" I'm immediately going, "Holy crap, what am I in trouble for this time?" And rarely was I in trouble. It was more they just wanted to give me information. How much does our perception filter this emotional intelligence and sets us off on a path where we start to get anxious when we really need to just step back and have a think about it clearly?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a couple of things at play. I think one is just our biology. I mean, we as humans are negatively biased. It's
Mm.
how we have survived. We are just genetically and evolutionarily, that's a hard word to say, in our bones, we're just like always looking for the tiger that's about to eat us. And
Mm.
it's just kind of how we're built. But then knowing that, and again, I think it goes back to checking in. The boss rings your phone. It's a great example, right? The boss rings your phone. You see them show up on your caller ID, and they're like, "Hey, Damien, can you come into my office?" And instantly you're like, "Oh my God." And then it's just like taking a beat to take a breath and be like, as far as I'm aware, there's no reason for him or her to be upset with me. So how can I'll just go in open with curiosity, right? I think it's also learning the skill to unravel or disconnect the feelings that we have from who we are. Because again, being imperfect is the perfect way to be. Nobody is perfect. We all make mistakes. But because you make a mistake doesn't mean that you are a mistake. That because you have like a situation that makes you anxious and nervous, because we all do. I mean, I get nervous before coming on podcasts and talking sometimes initially, because I'm just like, I want to do a good job. I want to represent myself well and be articulate and all of that. But I'm not an anxious person. I can experience anxiety, but I'm not an anxious person. And I think disconnecting the emotions that we feel from our identity is hugely important.
So from that perspective, it sounds like it's taking a step back to actually, again, as you said, disconnect and go, okay, I'm this person, I'm a good person, and this is the situation.
Right. Yeah. And just that ability to pause, to take a breath, take 10 breaths if you need, but to just pause and to center yourself again. And there's loads and loads of techniques that I work with my clients that you can, work with your coach or your therapist, to just like, what's a technique to get myself back to center so that I'm clear, and then I can go into the situation or make the decision or have the conversation from a point of curiosity and openness and groundedness, from just like sheer panic, all emotion, running from the tiger.
But don't run from the tiger, take a breath, and then shake the tiger's hand.
Sometimes, or, go to a different field or get on a big rock, pull the arrow. I mean, I don't know, right? There's all kinds of different tigers. Sometimes we need to shake their hand, and sometimes we need to get them out of our lives.
Before you go, you're invited to continue the Be Manly and the Legends of Humanity journey. Subscribe to our YouTube and become a patron, where you can become a courageous crusader, a wise warrior, a daring dynamo, and even an ascending avenger. Here you'll find all the tools to become a man in all its glory. We're honoured to walk side by side with you on this extraordinary adventure. Together, we're unleashing the full power of manhood, creating a better world for everyone.